The will between brother and sister. I didn't realize how serious it was at first. The call came in the middle of an ordinary evening, right when I was sorting through emails and eating dinner in front of a glowing laptop screen. My father's name lit up on my phone, and something about it made me pause. He rarely called, especially not at night. "Come home," he said, his voice low and urgent. "Tonight, if you can." "What's wrong?" It's it's about your brother and sister. There's a will. You need to see it." "A will?" My heart skipped. My parents were alive. As far as I knew, healthy. So whose will could possibly pit my brother and sister against each other? I didn't ask more. I packed a bag, booked a night train, and headed home. Our family house sat on the quiet slopes just outside a small town in the hills of northern India. It hadn't changed. The chipped paint on the gates, the creaky door with the broken latch, the porch light that flickered like a heartbeat at dusk. All of it greeted me like a half-forgotten lullaby. My mother met me at the door. Her face had aged, eyes softer, sadder, more careful. She hugged me, but something in that hug was tight and anxious, like she wasn't sure if I'd pull away. Inside, my father sat in the old armchair by the fireplace. A faded envelope rested on the coffee table between us. It was labeled in neat, deliberate handwriting. "Will. Private." He pushed it toward me. "It's your grandfather's," he said, "but there's more to it than that. Read it." My fingers trembled slightly as I opened the envelope. The paper inside was yellowing, fragile at the edges. It smelled faintly of old libraries and something older. Memory, maybe. I began reading. "I, Arvind Singh, being of sound mind, hereby leave my estate as follows. To Rehan, my eldest grandson, I leave the house and land in Missouri and my bank holdings. To Aisha, my granddaughter, I leave the antique jewelry of my late wife and shares in the family business. To Arav, the youngest, I leave only the letter enclosed herewith." I froze. My name, and nothing but a letter? I looked up slowly. "What does this mean?" My father gestured toward the second page. "Read the letter." It was handwritten, the same steady hand as the will. But this time, the words were personal. "Arav, my boy, you've always felt different, not less, just different. And it's time you knew why. You were born to my nephew and his wife. They died in a car crash when you were 2. Your parents, my son and daughter-in-law, took you in as their own, raised you with love, with patience, with care. But I never agreed with keeping it from you. I believe the truth one day should be yours. What I give you is not land or gold. It is freedom, the freedom that comes with knowing who you are. Ask your parents. They will tell you the rest." The silence was louder than anything I'd ever heard. I looked at them. My mother had tears in her eyes. My father stared at the floor. "Is it true?" I whispered. My mother nodded. "We were going to tell you," she said, her voice cracking. "But then school started, and then exams. Then you went off to college. Every year it got harder. We thought we'd lost the right moment. I was numb. Did Rehan and Aisha know?" My father finally spoke. "We told them when they were 16. We thought they should know before they made adult choices." I stood up and walked outside. The night was cold and still. Somewhere in the distance, a temple bell rang. I looked up at the stars. Too many of them, and not one made sense. The next day, Rehan and Aisha came by. They looked awkward, almost guilty. "We didn't know what was in the will," Rehan said quietly. "We assumed you'd get something, maybe everything. We never asked for anything." Aisha nodded. "You're our brother, blood or not. That's never changed. But everything had changed. Or maybe it had always been like this. I just hadn't known. I stayed for a week, walked the familiar roads, sat in my grandfather's old study and read his journals. In one of them, I found a single line that struck deep. Love can raise a child, but truth shapes the man he becomes. That was it, wasn't it? My grandfather hadn't left me nothing. He'd left me the truth. And truth, no matter how painful, is a beginning, not an end. Before I left, my father came to me. You can stay, he said, or go. You don't owe us anything, but we'll always love you. He wasn't my biological father, but at that moment, he was more my father than any bloodline could prove. I need to go, I said. Not to run away, to find out who I really am. But I'll be back. So I left, with nothing but a suitcase and a letter in my pocket. A letter that gave me no inheritance, no land, no riches, just something far more valuable, the truth, and the freedom to write my own story.